Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I am doing a comparative analysis of what are the changes which GARP have done from year 2025 to 2026 FRM syllabus, right? So I have spent some time comparing the 2025 syllabus with the newly released 2026 syllabus for both FRM Part 1 as well as FRM Part 2, and I want to give you a clean structured understanding of what actually has changed, right? Where you should pay more attention and where you can literally relax because nothing major has happened, right? So if you look at FRM Part 1, right, let's start with that. Almost no change, only one chapter has been updated. When you look at the syllabus of FRM Part 1, the big takeaway is very, very simple. Part 1 is almost unchanged going from 2025 to 2026. There are four core books. As we know, the weightage remains exactly the same: 20%, 20%, 30%, 30%. Book 1, Foundation of your Risk Management, no change. Book 3, Financial Market and Products, no change. Book 4, Valuation and Risk Management or Risk Models, no change. The only catch or only change here is in your book 2, which is your quantitative analysis. In book 2, only one chapter has been updated, that is your stationary time series, chapter number 10. Five learnings objectives in that chapter have been updated, but even these are not conceptually new, right? They've simply become more explicit in nature. They have become more calculation heavy and more application focused, right? So what is exactly going on? The FRM committee is signaling that please don't just only know the concept of your autoregressive or your moving average concept, but also be able to compute them or interpret them or test them, right? So the updated learning objectives here emphasize clearly, right? Those have been highlighted in the Excel sheet also, right? That it is about calculating autoregressive and moving average processes. It is about calculating your lag polynomials. You have to work with your stationarity conditions. You have to apply autoregressive, moving average, and ARMA model selection. And you have to compute as well as interpret your box peers and Young box Q statistic, right? So if you look at the impact here, I would say impact is extremely low, but the lesson here is that exam focus become little bit computational, right? So if you have already practiced your time series question regularly, I don't think anything would surprise you, right? So that's all here. Very good news for FRM candidates. 99% of your 2025 preparation is intact. Just sharpen your time series calculations basics and make sure you can calculate the numericals, interpret them, not just only describe, right? So that is what is the objective of the changes which has happened in FRM Part 1. All right. Okay, that was all about FRM Part 1. Now we're going to FRM Part 2. FRM Part 2 is a different ball game, right? When we go to FRM Part 2, right, in FRM Part 2, the changes are different, right? So if you look at the changes of FRM Part 2, now in FRM Part 2, right, it is not at all similar to your FRM Part 1. So what has happened in FRM Part 2, if you look closely, uh, things get very interesting here, right? Because Part 2 actually sees your real content change or movement, I would say. And there I want you to pay attention for FRM Part 2 candidates, right? So if you look at the high level view, I would say total chapters have increased from your 104 to 107. So you have to study three more chapters. If you look at book one, market risk, book two, credit risk, and book three, operational risk, good news is there are no changes. If you look at book four, liquidity and treasury risk, very minor change. So that's also good news only. Book five and book six, the major restructuring has happened there, right? So in book five, a lot of restructuring. Book six, which is current issues, several chapters deleted and major reorganization, right? If you look at book four, right, where small changes happen, liquidity and treasury risk, what has happened is in book four, right, your 12th chapter, right, in the liquidity treasury risk has been removed, and your 19th chapter, right, that has been moved to your book five, right, which is your investment management, risk management, investment management book, right? So again, I would say that this is a very minor change, housekeeping change, nothing conceptually new, nothing exam breaking, just a rebalancing of where topic sits, right? So impact is negligible. The changes have been given on the side, right? You can see those, right? Now, when you look at book five, right, which is risk management and investment management, this is the biggest shift in part two, right? What has happened is you have deleted your chapter number seven, chapter number nine, and chapter number 11. That those chapter kind of disappear completely, right? Your chapter number 12 has been split and you're partially moved. There are four new your risk management and investment management chapters have been added. So book five is the kind of center of gravity for all such changes, right? So here, GARP is like cleaning up your older investment risk topics and replacing them with your fresher, more industry relevant material, right? So that changes. You can see the chapters have been highlighted, what chapters have been added, what chapters have been deleted. My take here is that expect more focus on your macro financial linkages here. Expect question on AI application and risk and management, risk and investment. Look at behavioral and capital market risk themes. Look at your liquidity risk management. Look at your scenario analysis. That's why there are chapters like your hedge fund investment strategies, your investor behavior, capital market investing, AI in capital market application, and private capital or private credit distress cycles, right? So the lesson here, the hint here is that FRM is trying to align with what is happening in the real market today, right? Because private credit has become a big topic in recent time, right? The distress which comes from private credit. In fact, JP Morgan CEO recently said that there are a lot of cockroaches in the system, right? He was hinting to the distress which has happened with the private credit, right? So that's what I'm trying to hint here, or that's what even GARP is trying to give an explanation here, right? Then we have book six. Book six is about current issue. This is the most updated book. I would say this is the most in the risk management language. This is the most volatile book, right? And why I say volatile, because it keeps changing, right? As volatility in the markets keep changing, it's never static, right? So similarly, your book six is of current issues. It is also most volatile, right? And it changed again, right? What has happened here? If you see, few chapters deleted, you know, and then uh, few chapters move to risk management, investment management. Fresh chapters have been added. Chapters on the AI, macro financial stability, tokenization, global drivers of private credit, etc. So book six always shifts because GARP want the latest trends reflected, and keeping in mind that thing, book six has again shifted this year. They have again put new topics. They have trimmed your outdated content and added topics which are reflecting your AI and capital markets, your global private credit boom. I'm pretty sure you will get a question on your private credit this year, because private credit, as I told you, right? JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon has said about it, and private credit has become a very hot topic in the markets nowadays, right? For the last 1 or 2 years, right? So yeah, I'm pretty sure you will get a question on private credit. So read private credit very, very diligently. Macro financial stability is very important. Again, how countries' macro financial stability is changing. That is very important. Tokenization has become a big topic in recent times, very, very important in the market, and market inefficiency. So all of the topics which I'm discussing right now are very, very important topics, and you will get a question from there. And no doubt about that, right? So content is quite new, but anybody who's following the markets or the current issues, it is very relatable, very readable, and extremely relevant to your global risk discussions today, right? So impact is significant in this book, right? So from my side, advice for FRM Part 2 student is that please focus and please look at, right, the strategic allocation. Book 5 has a lot of changes. There are new chapters, there is restructuring, new exam questions are expected there. Book 6 also, there are a lot of changing, new content. uh, Readings are easy and conceptual, but there are changes, right? Book 1, 2, and 3 are easy or simple, as similar to what we had earlier, right? So the summary here is for FRM Part 1 students, It is the syllabus is quite stable, right? Not much has changed. Please, for all FRM Part 1 students, don't waste time hunting for obscure changes. Focus on mastering stationary time series calculation. That's it, right? The rest is business as usual for FRM Part 1 student. For FRM Part 2 students, right, my advice is that there is a lot of reshuffling which has happened. There are some topics which are repeating again, such as your private credit, your AI, your hedge fund strategies, I could see, and your macro and the your inefficiencies, market inefficiencies. Those are few topics which I find quite relatable and very important. And see the changes which has happened in the risk management and investment management book, right? So that's it, guys. There's one thing to look at syllabus uh, as it has been done, right? And one thing is to have a strategic view or an interpretation of syllabus. So I have given you both. One is the changes which has happened, and one is my view that how I look at the syllabus and what I believe will be asked in exam, right? So again, go back, analyze it, and best of luck for your preparation. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you.